Welcome to this platform. So in this video, let us answer questions from paper 1, that is 2024 GCE paper, mathematics paper 1. So we are going to answer about 11 questions in this paper as the first part, and of course we are going to conclude in the next sessions. Okay, so stick around up to the end of the presentation. At some point I'll get to leave also some questions as always that you are going to answer and be able to give the feedback. So please, if this channel has been helpful to you in terms of revision, do not forget to share. So keep on sharing my content so that we can reach as many audience, so we can help a lot of learners that might be struggling in terms of revisions. Otherwise, thank you very much also for those that are subscribing and those that are those that keep on watching and of course sharing my content. So here is the first question that was in this paper. So the question is evaluate. And of course, to answer this question, we need to find what this simply means, that we need to find the cube root. As you can see down there is a 3. So the cube root of 8 over 27. And of course, to the power 2. So 2 is a power and of course 3 is a root. So this, you simply write it like this. So 3, 8 over 27. So what is the cube root of 8? So the cube root of 8, we are looking for the number that we can multiply 3 times and to give us 8. And that number is a 2. And of course for 27, the number that we can multiply 3 times, okay, 3 times by itself to give us 27 is a 3. So this is 2 over 3. But don't forget it's to the power 2. So to the power 2 means 2 to the power 2. That is, so that one's just the same as 2 to the power 2 over 3 to the power 2, which is 4 over 9. So that is the answer that you find here. So here we are going to have 4 over 9. So that is the answer to the first question. The second question, simplify. So for you, if you are given such a question, or when you are given a question to simplify, or such as this, the first thing that you should consider is working out what is in the brackets, okay, or getting rid of the bracket by just simply multiplying. So this part is going to multiply 4, or 4 multiplied by x, it will be 4x. 4 multiplied by negative 2, it is negative 8. Then of course we have 3 multiplied by 2x is going to give us 6x. Then 3 multiplied by negative 3 is going to give us negative 9. You bring in, you collect the like terms, so x plus 6x, then 8 minus 9. This is going to give you a 10x minus, this is going to give you negative 17. So that is the answer. So here 10x minus 17 is the answer. Then of course the third question, solve the equation. So we are solving the equation. When you are solving the equation, just know that you are finding the values. So in this case, the variable is x. So now this is a quadratic function. Now it's already factorized. So you just need to find the value of x. So in some cases it comes as a quadratic function of which you can use, I think the most cases use that is factorization method to work out the answer. Okay, so how do we answer this one? So we are going to say 3x minus 5 is equals to 0. We just equate this part to 0, and also x plus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so 3x equal to, okay, we are going to have 0, or let me just say plus 5. So when it crosses the equal sign, 5 become positive. And of course the other side, or let me just work out this one first. So to find the value of x, we divide both sides 3. So x is therefore 5 over 3, which is 1. That is 3 into 5 is 1. Remainder 2 over 3. Okay, others, you still leave the answer here. I think it's okay. So 1, 2 over 3. That is one value of x. Then for this one, we just bring the 2 the other side, and it will be negative 2. So which means the other value is negative 2. Okay. Let us look at this one, factorize. That is question 4. Factorize. So for us to factorize, we first look at what is common here, and what is common is a 7. Then what remains is x squared minus 1. Now when you have such an expression, this we are looking at two different squares, and therefore this inside it will be x minus 1, x plus 1, different of two squares. So since we are factorizing, so this is the end. So 7x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay. Then of course we are up to question 5. Use the set notation to describe the shaded region in the diagram below. So now what do you do, or what is the strategy that you apply? So in this case, you look at what is shaded first. Okay, and that is the wanted part. So the wanted part is shaded. Now if you look at this, A and D, B and C is shaded, but A is not shaded. So since B and C is shaded, this is just the same as B union what? Union C. Okay, so B union C. Now, again, if you look at this one, the one that is not shaded, if we say A complement, so when it is not shaded, which means excluding that, so this is the A complement. So this set represents A complement. Now, what is the relationship between B union C and A complement? Okay, since these are shaded, if we look at A complement, is everything that is outside the A, and of course B union C is outside what? Outside A complement, and therefore we intersect them. So we're going to put intersection A complement. So that is the solution to, or that is the description to the shaded region here, or that is how we describe a set. Okay. Then question 6, a businessman got 800 shares worthy 7,200. What was the cost of each share? So in other words, they're asking us about the cost of one share. How much was one share? So now to find the cost of one share, we are going to say one share equal to, we do not know. Then of course 800 shares equal to 7200, okay, 7,200. We cross multiply. We are going to have x 800 shares equal to 7,200, okay, multiply by one share. Okay, so 800 shares, 800 shares. Okay, then of course we divide 7, divide even these leaving out is just okay. So 700 divide, is it 700? 72 divide 8, because we've cancelled out the zeros. 72 divide 8 should be able to give us 9. So in terms of money is 9 kwacha. So please be able to confirm this. So found the share, or one share, is equals to 9 kwacha. So that is how we simply work this one out. Then of course question 7, a sequence 20, 17 and of course 14 is an arithmetic progression. So paper 1 you find AP, and of course paper 2 you're going to find GP. I have the video on GP that is starting 2018 to 2023. You might want to check that one out. So I have the video, you can go through among my recordings, you'll be able to find it, all the questions answered. You might need to go through that. So this is AP. Now the first question is find the 9th term. So the first thing that you should know is the formula for the nth term of an AP. Okay, since you are looking for the nth term, so you can say nth term is equals to the first term plus the number of term that you're finding minus 1, then multiply by the what? The common difference. So A is the first term. Okay, so this is A, please. So A is the first term. So now how do you find the common difference, because what you need here from this, the first term is this one. We have the first term, and of course n we have is 9. We are finding the 9th term, but the problem is that we do not have the common difference. So how do we find the common difference? So common difference, which is D, is as the term, you can say term number 2 minus term number 1. So it's always the term that is ahead minus the one that is behind, in terms of when they are consecutive. Okay, so the difference between two consecutive terms. Okay, so in this case we can use, this is term number 1, this is term number 2, this is term number 3. So which means the one that is ahead of term number 2 is term number 3. So I can use term number 2, which is 17, minus term number 1, which is 20, or term number 3 minus term number 2. So it's always the one that is ahead minus the one that is behind if they are consecutive. That is very important. Okay, so now to find the term, the common difference here, we are simply going to use term number 2 minus term number 1, and in this case we have 17 minus 20, which gives us negative 3. So the common difference is negative 3. Okay, so now we can find the term number 9. So 9th term, I've put term number 9. Common difference, I mean the first term, which is 20, plus what is the term number is 9 minus 1, common difference, that is 3. Okay, so we have 20 plus 9 multiply negative 3. So BODMAS, you start by multiplying first. So when you multiply 20, then of course you are going to have negative 27. This one is going to be 20 minus 27, which give us, what does it give us? Is it 27? That is negative 3. Okay. This one was supposed to be 8, please. So this one was supposed to be 8, not 27 here. Was supposed to be 8 so that it can give us 24. So here is supposed to be 24. So that if you subtract, it would give us negative 4. I guess you have seen that mistake. So the answer here is negative 4. Was it for the first one? Yes. Then the second one, sum of the 10th term, or sum of the first 10. So also there's a formula that you use. So for the sum of nth term is equals to n over 2. Okay, then 2a plus, okay, n minus 1 multiply the common difference. Okay, that is the one that you use. Now here is a sum of the first term, or the first 10. So where there's n, we put a 10. Okay, so the first term, as we know, is 20. So 2 multiply 20 plus the term that we are finding is 10 minus 1. Common difference is 3. So now this is 5 multiplied by, this is 40 plus the whole of that is 9 multiplied by negative 3. So what are we going to have? We have 5. Then of course here we have 40 minus, this is going to be negative 27. So what are we going to have there? Okay, so I should have started on top there calculating. So we are going to have 27 minus, 40 minus 27 is 13. 13 multiplied by, so we are going to have, let me just put here 5 multiply 13. And this gives us 65. So that is the answer. That is the sum of the first 10. So like I do normally, so this question, you are going to answer it, and of course be able to post your answers. Okay, post your answer in the comment section. So the whole question 8, the first one is on probability, as you can see, and of course the second one is on should I say trigonometry. So you're going to answer this because it involves finding the angle anyway. So you're going to answer this one. Okay, let us see what question 9 is. Okay, so let us answer question 9. Then the diagram below shows the universal set. So I have the universal set, which is this one, and P is this one, Q is this one, and they are saying list set P complement intersection Q. So you're listing P complement intersection Q. So what is the strategy? The strategy, you should first find P complement. So to find P complement, you are just going to look at the numbers that are not found or that are outside P from the universal set. Okay, so from the universal set, we cancel out 2 is part of P because we are looking at P complement. So excluding P. So we look at 2 is part of it, 4 is part of it, 6 is part of it, and of course 8 is part of it. So whatever remains, that is our P complement. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is what is in the P complement. So please be able to follow it up and make sure that we've not made any mistake at any point. So having found P complement, now we can intersect it with Q. So which means P complement intersection Q, we find what these sets have in common. So this is set Q. Do we have 1 in Q? No. Do we have 1? No. Do we have 2? 2? No. Do we have 3? Yes. And also here we have 3. So first one is 3. Do we have 5? Yes. Do we have 5? Yes. Second one is 5. Do we have 7? Yes. Do we have 7? Yes. So 7. What else do we have? Nothing at all. So this is our set P intersection Q. So P intersection Q, P complement intersection Q is equals to that is 3, 5, and 7. Okay, so for this one also I leave it up to you. That is on transformation. So the question is describe fully the single transformation which maps the trapezium S onto trapezium T. Look at the question. So please, 2 of the questions already that you are going to answer. Okay. Then we have this one, question 10. Given that A is equals to this one, and of course find A transpose. Now transposing the matrix, you just change the row become the column become the row. So here you only have 1 row and of course 3 columns. So the answer is going to have 3 rows, 1 column. So which means we start A transpose is this simply equal to, which one is the first one? This one on top, followed by this one, -1, then of course 3. So that is the answer. Given that this, which is A, and of course that, find AB. Now, the condition for matrices to multiply is that, look at this, the order for this one is 2 by 1. And for this one is 1 by 2. By the way, these are rows, these are columns. Rows, column. So for them to multiply, the inside part here should be the same. In other words, number of column in the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in the second one for them to multiply. So now when they multiply, you can even predict the resulting. What is going to remain? A 2. Multiplied by what? A 2. So which means the matrix that we are going to have is a 2 by 2. Now how do we find the 2 by 2 from here? So, and multiplication of matrices, you multiply row by column. Okay, row by column. So this is a row multiplied by a column. So 3 multiplied by 1. Okay. Then of course we move to the next one, row by column. So it will be 3 multiplied by what? -2. Then of course we come to the bottom part, row by column, which is 2 multiply 1. Then of course by column, which is 2 multiplied by what? -2. And if you want to confirm that what you've multiplied or the multiplication is just okay, these should be the same at the bottom and on top. So to find the answer here, we are going to say 6. This is 2 and that is -6. Oh, this is 3, please. This is 3. This is 2. That is -6 and that is -4. So this is the answer expected. So 3, 2, -6, and of course -4. Okay. So that was question 10. I said we are going to go up to question 11. So the diagram below shows the position of a town A, B, and C. Write what is the time at A if the time at B is if the time at B, what is the time at A if it is 05 hours at B? What is the time at A if it is 05 hours at B? Now, one thing you should understand is that time is measured along the what? Longitude. So places that are found on the same longitude have same time. Okay? There's no time difference. As you move going to the east, if you have the compass, this is north, this is east, and this is west, this is south. So as you go to the east, time increases by 1 hour per every 15 degree. Okay, that is something that you should know. So going to the east, time increases. In short, as we increase or moving from one longitude to the other, time increases. But along the same, the time is the same. So therefore, here the time is 05 hours. Okay, no change in time. A plane flew from town A to town C in 5 hours. What was the speed of the plane in knots? So where is town A? So town A is right here and town C is right there. So now they flew along that. Now they're asking us what is the speed of the plane in knots. So immediately you see knots, just know that the distance is in a nautical mile. Okay, and to find the distance in nautical mile, okay, what do we have in this question? By the way, we only have time. For us to find speed, we need distance and of course time. Time, we already have it, but we do not have distance. So we start by finding distance. How do we find distance? So to find distance, we are going to consider these 2 points are along the longitude or along the great circle. The formula that we use for distance is equals to theta over 360 multiplied by what? 2 pi r, where r is 37 nautical mile. Okay? So every time you hear of knots, just know that speed distance is in nautical mile. So this is our radius. Okay? So now, we can replace. Now, replacing dialect, let us do it. So replacing it to be, what is our theta now? Our theta, again, one thing you should know that if points are along the great circle, the theta you find the difference in latitudes. So the difference in latitude, that is your theta. So this one is at latitude what? 30 degrees south, and of course this one 60 degrees north. And I'm sure you know that if they are on different places, different latitudes, you add them if it's north and south. But north, you subtract. South, you subtract. So you're going to add, and this gives us 90. So our theta is 90 degrees. Okay, so we can replace from here. So 90 over 360 multiplied by what? 2. The radius, even if it's not given, pi, even if it's not given, is 22 over 7. So paper 1, you normally take 22 over 7 so that at least you can easily work out the numbers. And of course, the radius that we have is 37. Okay, so now we can start by reducing this. So that is 90 into 90. 90 into 90 is 1. Then 90 into 360 is a 4, I guess, which is just the same as 9 into 34. Should be a 4. Be able to confirm. Multiply by. Now here again, let me just put multiply by 2. Because it's paper 1, you don't use a calculator, so you need to find a way of reducing these numbers easily so that we can have it easy when it comes to multiplying. So this and that can go. So we have distance is equals to 1 over 2 multiplied by 22. Now 22, again, this and that, 22 can cancel. So which means we are remaining with this 22 and these 2 can cancel. So which means here completely done. So we are remaining with 11 multiplied by 3, 4, 37, divide a 7. Okay, so that is what we have. Now, Let us now find the values. So 11 multiplied by this, what is it giving us? Or is there a way that we can divide 7 into this number? 7 into 30, if we start dividing this, 7 into 30, what is the number? So 7 into 30 is 4, which is 28. So we have a 4. But of course, remainder a 6. Okay? Remainder a 6. So this 6, we are going to carry it to the next one. So we are going to say 63. So 7 into 63, how many times does it go into, or how many times does 7 go into 63? How many times does it go into 63? Okay, so it happened that this one goes there how many times? Where is it? Where am I calculating from? So it goes there. Where am I calculating from? So I have 4 remainder. So into 63 is a 9, but of course into 7 is a 1. So I have 491 multiply 11. So which means the 7 is completely gone. Okay, so 491, we don't use a calculator. So 491 multiplied by 11. So you start multiplying. You start multiplying. So you're going to say 491 multiply 11. And you are going to have 194. That is if you multiply 1 throughout. Then also 194. If you add these, what are we able to find? What are we able to find? 34, 37. I'm trying to look at if at all we did the right thing. Okay. Okay. What are we able to find here? So if we add, we have 1, 0. That is 13 plus 1, 14. Remainder 1. Okay. So we have 5,001. Is it what you're supposed to find? Okay, so that is the distance that we found. Is it in Newton per mile? I mean, that is the distance is in Newton per mile. Then now we divide by 5. So the whole of this, we've just found the distance here. Then now we can go on and divide by 5. I hope it will work. Okay, I hope it will work. So speed is equals to distance over time. So distance, we have 5401 divide 5 hours. This is Newton per mile. Divide 5 hours. Okay. So what is it going to give us now if we're to divide 5 hours? What is it going to give us? So for this one, 5 into 5 is 1. Remainder 0. Okay. So 5 into 1 is 5. 5 into 5 is 1. Remainder 0. Okay. 5 into 4 is a 0. So 5 into 40 is 8. Why have I written 0? 8. Remainder what? 5 into 1, 0. Then into 40, 8. Remainder 0. 5 into 0 is a 0. Remainder. Okay, so we should be able to find 180 point something. Okay, knots. And I guess you followed how we arrived at this. Okay, so be able to confirm what you have found. But in all this thing, the easiest way that you can use to find distance if it's nautical mile, let me just show you the easiest. Maybe it might be something easy. So if it is nautical mile, in nautical mile, I mean if you're finding in knots, distance, okay, speed is equals to distance divide time. Time we have to be 5 hours. All what we need is distance. So there's this that you can use. So distance is equals to 60 theta. What did we find as our theta? We found it to be 90. So I just said distance is equals to 60 multiplied by what? 90. Okay. How did I find 60 theta? Look at this. Distance is equals to, this one is from here, 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. If we are to put in the numbers here, distance is equals to theta over 360 multiplied by 2. Then we put this one 3.142. Then of course radius 34, 37. If you multiply these, where you're going to multiply whatever is on that is at the top there, then you divide 360, should be able to give you 59.9 something, and of which we round it off to 60, and of course multiply by theta. So that is where that is coming from. So now let us see if this one will work. So 60 multiply 90. So I can say 90 multiply 60. 0, 0. That is 0. 9 multiplied by 6. What are we able to find? 9 multiplied by 6. What is the answer? Should it give us 54? Is it 54? 9 multiplied by 6. It's giving us 54. Okay? Which is just the same as 54. That is 5,400. What did we find in the previous one? I guess we found something closer to 5,400. Should be, yeah, I think there was just a difference of a 1, because this one we have rounded off. So which means the distance in nautical mile we have 5,400. Then we can go on now and fuse in 5,400. Then we can start reducing and should be able to give you 1080 knots, okay, which is just the same as the one that we found. So whichever way is easy for you, make sure that you work it out. Otherwise there's no other way that you can work out this one. So you just have to practice more, especially when it comes to mensuration and of course earth geometry. I think these are challenging part that most learners find it difficult, considering the fact that they are coming from the background where they depend on calculators, okay. But of course, if you are interested in the online lessons, that is if you are writing GCE 2025, and of course you are writing also, maybe you are writing IGCSE Cambridge or GCSE, we also offer lessons. So you can contact the number 0976 40256, that is 2563. Otherwise, see you in the next one.